I feel like we failed. I feel like um, I am embarrassed that we, you know, showed our family to the world and then that we can't keep ourselves together. Now I don't know what my future is. It's a weird thing to say, and
Mhm.
it's a weird thing to admit. It's a hard thing to admit. But right now, like I'm trying to sort of find my future, if that makes any sense.
Hi friends, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. It is August 26, 2024. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day. Well, there is going to be a new season of Sister Wives coming out on September 15th. And obviously, as the season is preparing to launch, an onslaught of rumors and sources are coming out of the woodwork to share the details about what's going on in the lives of those individuals that have been very quiet in the off season. Two people on this show, Kody and Robyn, do not maintain a very heavy social media presence. In fact, both of them have really fallen into the woodwork. They basically hide because of all of the hate they receive on the show. Very different than how things used to be when all of the family members used to go out and tweet during the show, respond to comments, regularly post on their social media platforms, and present to the world a united front. In March of 2019, Miss Robyn Brown stopped posting on her social media, including her Instagram and her Facebook pages. She live tweeting for the show until 2021, but hasn't been on social media very much since. She has a profile on Pinterest where she posts about God and being a victim of everything. So naturally, a new article that came out from The Sun is speaking to a source about Robyn. And again, Robyn is coming out as the victim in the situation with Kody. And Robyn is apparently not done dragging her ex-husband through the mud, and she's comparing Kody to her ex-husband. And apparently she is on the verge of leaving Kody because everything has gone terrible, and Kody is so controlling and a horrible human being. I want to remind people that last summer, before the beginning of the season, similar articles were released about Kody and Robyn. There's been numerous articles released about Kody and Robyn's marriage, and obviously the marriage could be in trouble. However, she said last year she was miserable. So she's apparently still miserable. And it says that she may leave her husband due to his controlling behavior in a volatile marriage. Whoa. Sister Wives Robyn Brown may leave husband Kody due to his controlling behavior. So the source is probably Kody Robyn or one of their friends. It's leaking very heavily in Robyn's favor, with Robyn being the victim in the situation. It says that she could be the fourth and final wife to leave Kody as the marriage has nearly hit rock bottom. And we only see like a tiny glimpse of the show of what's going on in the marriage, because they only included like a clip of Robyn basically saying that she was having a hard time respecting Kody. And then she said that she felt like an idiot that was left behind. So this is what the family source told The Sun. And you can take this for what it's worth. Robyn and Kody are not doing well. They have been very unhappy. And I mean, they've been unhappy since everything fell apart. But even more so now, it's getting worse. I wouldn't be surprised if things in their household are falling apart, because the daughters, Brianna and Aurora, are constantly posting pins on their Pinterest boards that make it seem like things in their household are not happy. According to the source, the reason the relationship is falling apart is because of how angry Kody is. They wrote, he's just really mad at the world right now. He's not who he used to be at all. He's completely changed. He's angry and he's volatile, and he doesn't like anybody that's not worshiping him. I don't think very much has changed in the fact that Kody has always wanted people worshiping him. I think it's just that now that Robyn has to be around him all the time, maybe she's finally seen what he's truly like. I think his anger has always been bad, but I think obviously when a narcissist loses control, they can go unhinged, and I think that's where he's at. The source went on to say that Kody is very controlling, which has led Robyn to become submissive. I don't doubt that Kody is controlling. I know a lot of people say that Robyn is controlling, and I think Robyn is controlling to a degree. However, I think that with the way that the relationship is structured and the way that their entire culture is structured, Kody is obvious the one to be in control. And the way that Robyn was raised by her mother was that she would submit to the husband. The husband is always right, to do whatever you need to do to keep the husband happy, whatever that means, like in the bedroom or whatever, and taught her how to basically get standing and clout in families when you're a plural wife. The women in their society don't hold positions of power, and because they adhere to a patriarchal system, she can reign in control in some degrees, but I do believe he is very controlling of Robyn, and I also believe he's very controlling of the kids. This source went on to explain that she used to be more social, she used to visit friends, and she used to talk on the phone for hours, but that no longer happens. The trailer shows them arguing, and Robyn, on the verge of breaking down, says, "I'm having a hard time feeling like I'm losing respect for you." And he says, "I can't even get it straight with you now." They've been together for 14 years, and she believes that Kody is turning into her ex, David Preston Jessup. Now, this is the part of the story I don't really appreciate because honestly, there's no reason to bring Preston up whatsoever because they haven't been together in years, more than 15 years. They've been divorced since 2008. Adding information about their marriage, which was a 7-year marriage, which she left, which he divorced her, and which no actual abuse was found. And there's no one that can substantiate any of this outside of Robyn. Everybody I've spoken to that knew the two of them said that this was not how their relationship was. So I want to put that caveat here. She says, they think that Robyn could definitely leave if things continue in the current direction. Robyn is not committed to staying if things don't change. That's just what it has come down to. Their marriage is not going to sustain this kind of control. She's not going to let her kids be raised in the same volatile, angry state that her other kids were raised in. Kody is turning into a mirror image of David. She took her kids away from him and took his parental control away. You think she's going to stick around for this? They also reasoned that there was so much love early on in the relationship that she fell in love with the man who took care of his family. First of all, the fact that this person's bringing up her ex, again, it feels very unnecessary. And so Dayton was 8 when they left the marriage. Her daughter, Aurora, was 6 or 7. Brianna was 4. So most of Brianna's life, she didn't grow up that way. Most of Aurora's life, she didn't grow up that way. And Dayton always seemed like he had a good relationship with his dad. So I don't know what to make of that. But again, she took her kids from him and took his parental control away. Yeah, she did that so Kody could adopt them so they could have their kids on the show. But she's not going to let her kids be raised in the volatile, angry state, but they are being raised in probably a worse situation. The only difference now is that Robyn actually has, I don't know, more money than she did with Preston. Preston didn't have money. He wasn't wealthy. I think a lot of the reasons their marriage fell apart was because Robyn wanted to be famous and she didn't want to be married to him because she wanted to be famous, and he didn't want to be a polygamist and she wanted to be a plural wife, and he didn't want the kids in the cult. She wanted the kids in the cult. They develop a weird reason why he can't have control of the kids or can't have access to the kids. Her narrative about Preston is not backed by anything I've ever spoken to about anyone from anywhere. Like, I've spoken to Preston's cousin that's very close to him who has absolutely nothing bad to say about Preston. I've spoken to Preston's niece. I've spoken to a high school friend of Preston. I've spoken to another cousin of his. Like, the only person that speaks this negatively about him is Robyn. That's not to say he's perfect, but it just, again, it feels unfair. She could say all of these things without dragging him into it. He's no longer that person that takes care of his family, and they claim that she could definitely see her leaving if he continues this. It's been how many years of him being like this? He has been a brooding, irate maniac since 2019. So that's 5 years. Ariella is 8, going to be 9. That means that most of her life she's been with a father that's controlling, angry, and volatile. She went on to say her kids are still young and she's financially reliant on Kody, so it would be tough to leave the marriage at this point, noting that Kody has pulled her away from her business ventures. I think that's, again, very strange because Robyn left her husband, ex-husband, when she was $30,000+ in debt over credit card bills that she racked up and took out, borrowed money from his family to pay off the loans, never paid the money back, then took the loan debt with a part of her as a part of her divorce, and then she couldn't declare bankruptcy because of that. He couldn't declare bankruptcy because of it. She financially ruined them. She's done this before. I think it's that she's so comfortable now, she doesn't want to go back. And they're claiming, and so she's blaming the failure on My Sister Wives Closet on Cody. And she's blaming his volatility on the end of their marriages. And the kids and money are keeping her in the marriage truthfully. She confessed in the past that she ended her first marriage because of abuse. My kids came first always. And then she revealed that there was a lot of fighting and pain in the past marriage. I promised myself as I came out of my divorce, I was like, if I ever marry again, I'm going to be more cautious and more careful. I'm having a hard time with this narrative because she and David were, again, only married for 7 years. I think they got married in 99 or 2000, and they were married and they lived together until 2007. She's been with Cody twice as long as she's been with Preston. Twice as long. And I would say that based on Cody's behavior on the show, he's probably 10 times worse than Preston. I think she had been willing to overlook a lot of his behavior because of the money and because of the lifestyle, because that's what she wanted. I think she wanted to be famous. So again, staying with a man who's violent and abusive, according to this claim, for money is ridiculous because she left before broke. She could easily leave again and find something else to do. She also is in a community property state. So all of her assets that she owns jointly with Cody, she has access to. All of their bank accounts, she has access to. She's the legal wife. It's far less destitute than I think she wants to claim. And they have a show. So again, the other wives left and were able to maintain their lives. None of them have gone broke. All of them have done well. I don't know why she thinks that she's worse off other than the fact that My Sister Wives Closet failed. But I don't believe Cody pulled her away from that. I honestly think like it was a junk business that wasn't working. No one was buying their crap. Apparently she's annoyed that Christine is always rubbing it in her face or rubbing it in everyone's face about being happy. So it's Christine shoves her happiness in everyone's faces. She's like Little Miss Sunshine, life is perfect, and everyone is drawn to her still. It kind of pisses David off, and especially with Janelle being Christine's bestie and showing the happy train. I don't know why that would piss David off that Christine's happy. Whatever. Janelle, we know, threatens to lawyer up. She never did. And the season premiere is on September 15th. So the ending comments about David and Christine don't make a whole lot of sense to me because, frankly, why would he be mad that she's happy? I think he's happy that she's happy. Regardless, that seems more like Robyn is bitter and angry that Christine is happy, jealous that Christine's happy and she's not. Now that Robyn doesn't have the fawning that she was receiving from Cody, then the love bombing and the fact that he was constantly like wooing her and trying to win her over and prove to her that he wanted her, she doesn't have the same leverage that she once did. Before, when there were other women, she could get her way and say, well, if you don't do this for me, you can go stay at your other wives and I'll leave. And then he would like bend over backwards to give her what she wanted and cater to her every woman need. She always used the leverage of kicking him out to another wife. She doesn't have that anymore. She doesn't have that tool anymore. She can't tell Cody to go find someone else or go with Christine because there's no one to go to anymore. She has no one to compete with. She has no leverage to hold over his head. I mean, outside of saying, I'm going to divorce you, I don't think that would scare him anymore. I don't think that would turn him into wanting to do better for her. I think Cody has already said that there are times in his life where he would rather just throw in the towel of all of it and walk away and start all over and start anew with someone else. So I don't think she can threaten him the same way that she once did. She doesn't get her needs met the way she once did because she doesn't have the power anymore. And staying with someone that you think is abusive and controlling for money is just the wrong message to send to kids, especially when you live in Arizona, which again is a community property state, and she's entitled to half of everything that they own together, outside of the property that he amassed at Coyote Pass that is not her property. So there's like a couple parcels she claims no ownership to. But other than that, they have their house that she's a 50-50 owner of. She's on 2 parcels of land at Coyote Pass, 50-50 owner. She frankly has more assets than anyone else did when they left the family. She has and would have to go through a legal divorce with Cody, which would be different. They would have to go through asset division. And obviously, there would be child custody, alimony, all of that would have to be determined. She hasn't had business ventures, but she also hasn't had the motivation to have other business ventures outside of my sister wives' closet. I think Cody did demand a lot of time of hers, but they didn't need to have her work because they were relying on and using everyone else's money. So it was okay for them to not have a job. It was okay for her not to have a job and not have a business venture when the other women were there because they could rely on that money. But now it's a problem because now she can't leave. It's hard for me to feel like that Robyn's a victim in the situation. I know that she doesn't have the power of Cody. She's not the patriarch, and I believe that Cody is an abusive man. That's my opinion. But she has the tools. She has the complete she has a network, she has a show. She could frankly, if she wanted to, leave him, write a freaking tell-all about what an abuser is because he's the one that was always with her. She could spill everything. She could make so much money. People would probably like her better if she just said like, yeah, you know what, I effed up and Cody's a jerk, and she turned on him and threw him under the bus. Because right now, no one's gonna like her for staying with him. She'd probably have more fans if she left, frankly, because then she would be walking the walk where she said she wasn't going to stay in this family unless they remained a plural family. She said that she would never be in the family without Mary, and here she is in the family without Mary. So Cody and Robyn's relationship is on the quote-unquote verge. Do you actually believe that to be true, or is this just more leakage to get people hyped up for the new season? Tell me what your thoughts are in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and click the bell so you never miss a video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye, everyone.